In the headlines, a CADRES poll predicts a DLP win at the 6th December general elections, but says the uncertain vote could be a major decider. Head of the WAWU, Curtis Augustus, weighs in on the PSU's efforts to force government to fast-track salary talks. And the Electoral Office names 8 councillors to sit on the Roseau City Council. I'm Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News. Back with the details after this.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, the latest poll by the Caribbean Development Research Services, CADRES, is predicting a win for the Dominica Labour Party at the 6th December general elections. Here is Julian Morris with that story.
The results of the October poll was released by pollster Peter Wickham at a news conference on Thursday.
The issue of leadership, of course, is always critical. We asked people who would they prefer at this time. 39% said they would prefer the leadership of Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. The second largest quantity, 31%, said they would like to be led by opposition leader Lennox Linton. 26% of respondents did not answer the question, and 4% said that they were genuinely uncertain about the party that they would like to support. What we did is we ran cross-tabulations regarding the uncertain voter and the inclination to vote. And what we found in many of these instances is that among these uncertain voters, these are people who didn't give us a commitment regarding how they would like to vote. 69% of them also did not tell us who they would like to be led by. Among those who did, 13%, or the majority, said they would prefer to be led by Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, and 8% said they would prefer to be led by Lennox Linton, opposition leader Lennox Linton. So this is a way of trying to understand that people who did not commit themselves in relation to leadership, and people who didn't commit themselves in relation to party support, what their likely inclination is going to be. We asked respondents about their voting intention and their expectation regarding the outcome of the election. These, of course, are two different things. The voting inclination is how I will vote. Expectation is who do I expect that I will win, and we appreciate that in many instances they are not one and the same. What we found is that 48% of people interviewed said they expected the DLP to win the December 6 elections, while 25% said they expected the UWP to win the elections, and 27% said they were unsure who will win. This conveys a sense that certainly Dominicans expect the DLP to be victorious, but it should be noted that it was not necessarily an expression of voting intention at this time.
There are a number of important factors which could determine the outcome of the December 6 polls, including the uncertain vote. That's the 32% of respondents who were not committed to any party at the time of the poll.
Clearly, these are large enough in number to influence the outcome of the election. We can do one of two things regarding how we assume that those persons will vote, because the vast majority of them will vote. On the one hand, we have using the leadership question as an indicator, and the fact that more of the people who did not commit were inclined towards Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. And the other option is that we can take what we have done historically in terms of generating our swing analysis, in that we have assumed that the uncertain voters will at least vote historically, because that is generally what has happened. The latter assumption is one that has held true in the Caribbean in most instances, and that's the one that we prefer. And certainly if that were to be done, we are generating a perspective, or we're projecting a win for Labour if that analysis holds true. So in relation to both of our presumptions, we're seeing a win for Labour.
It appears that for many Dominicans, excitement about voting has gone down since the 2014 election.
We have an issue in Dominica now regarding voter lethargy. Voter lethargy is the extent to which voters are perhaps not excited to vote, or alternatively a lot less enthusiastic about voting than they were in the previous election. And I can tell you at this point that voter lethargy is definitely up in Dominica. I don't believe that comes as a surprise to anyone, in that there is an increased lack of enthusiasm regarding voting, and I'm talking about voting for either political party on this occasion. The question then of success really is about who is better able to motivate voters at this point in time. And I should point out that the issue of voter lethargy can impact negatively on our projections for a Labour win. Certainly if Labour is able to get its voters out on election day and is able to deal constructively with this issue of lethargy, then Labour can win. If, however, the opposition is able to better exploit this issue of lethargy and get its voters out, then the opposition UWP can win. So it depends on how this issue of lethargy is dealt with, and certainly I would see this as being the significant issue in this election. Getting voters out, level of enthusiasm. There is, however, an expectation among people that Labour will win, and what we have found in the Caribbean, especially in more recent times, is that expectations of a likely victory are sometimes the greatest problem for a party that is likely to win, because it creates a situation where people expect it to happen, and they certainly don't want to vote, or they certainly don't feel inclined to vote because they expect it will happen. And I only have to refer to the most recent elections in United States of America, where Trump emerged victorious against all expectations, and that had a lot to do with voter lethargy in some places where people did not turn out with the expectation that he would not have won, and he won.
In more top stories, Secretary-Treasurer of the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union has voiced his opinion on the action being taken by the Public Service Union. We again join Julian Morris with more.
On Tuesday, the Public Service Union PSU executive met with its general membership to discuss a way forward, as it was dissatisfied with the slow pace of salary negotiations with government. Subsequent to Tuesday's meeting, it was decided that the public servants would embark on a series of actions in hopes of jolting government into action on the salary negotiations. Secretary-Treasurer of the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union, Curtis Augustus, says the PSU has the responsibility to do what is agreed upon by the general membership.
We know that the Public Service Union have had a meeting with their membership, and they have made certain decisions. I would say that that is the decision of the Public Service Union. I am not going to make any comment on that, because I think they have the authority, they have the responsibility, and once they have the backing of their members, that is what they should do. So who is me to comment on that? I prefer to allow them to make their own assessment as to what they have in fact done and how they see it for the future. So Curtis will not say whether in fact it was successful, partly successful, or otherwise. My position will always be that the unions have the responsibility, and they have the responsibility, guided by their membership, to make determinations for themselves.
Mr. Augustus explains it is the union's membership that gives instructions to the executive on what it would like to see done.
Because really and truly, the leadership of the union is not the union. The union is the members of the union that gives the directive to the leadership, and the leadership will take those and utilize the best possible way, strategy or otherwise in terms of implementing it.
The Public Service Union is scheduled to have another meeting on Friday.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
When persons with TB sneeze or cough, healthy persons nearby breathe in the droplets and the bacteria can lodge in their lungs. People with weakened immune systems such as HIV/AIDS, alcohol and drug users, smokers, children, and the elderly are most susceptible. Persons with a cough should take precautions when in contact with persons in public places. Cover your mouth when sneezing and coughing. Visit your doctor or health center. You must complete your treatment. TB can be cured even with HIV. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB and HIV. Protect yourself and others.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Welcome back. The 8 councillors to sit on the Roseau City Council have been named by the Electoral Office. The Roseau City Council held elections on Monday, 18th November across the 4 wards which the council covers. According to a press release from the Electoral Office, in Ward 1, which covers Turkey Lane to Castle Comfort, the 2 elected members are Moesha Joseph, who got 230 votes, and Ermine Roye with 205 votes. The other contenders for that ward, namely Ken Joseph and Kalisha George, got 187 and 87 votes respectively. 415 or 9.05% of the electorate voted, 208 or 50.12% of which were male, and 207 or 49.88% were female. In Ward 2, which covers Roseau Central to Louisville, the 2 elected members are Erickson Romaine with 189 votes and Rhea Brumant with 183 votes. Kathleen Chillingford and Rhoda St. John also ran for Ward 2 and received 137 votes and 126 votes respectively. 355 or 7.78% of the electorate voted, 135 or 38.03% were male, and 220 or 61.97% female. In Ward 3, which covers Lower Goodwill to St. Aroma, the two elected members are Michael Morrow with 83 votes and Sharika Winston with 80 votes. The other contender in that ward was Jason Timothy, who received 47 votes. 124 or 21.24% of the electorate voted, 51 or 41.13% of which were male, and 58.87% of which were female. And in Ward 4, which covers Pottersville to Glasgow, the elected councillors are Sherman Boston with 408 votes and Wayne Benjamin with 223 votes. The others who ran for that ward are Marilia Adams with 201 votes and Kimara Ito with 167 votes. 606 or 13.20% of the electorate voted, with 296 or 48.84% being male and 310 or 51.16% being female. In addition to the 8 elected members, 5 individuals will be nominated by government to form the 13-member Roseau City Council. And young entrepreneurs in Dominica have been encouraged to stick to the task at hand to develop the country. Here is Julian Morris with more.
The word of advice from Kelva Daru, who was speaking on behalf of Justina Charles Rivere, Minister for Youth and Sports, at the DYBT graduation ceremony on Wednesday. Daru told the entrepreneurs that small business play a vital role in any economy.
The most important resource of our country is our people, is our young people. And that is why in education we've invested heavily to ensure that we can send our young people to study and provide them opportunities to come back and contribute to the development of our country. That is why we have ensured that we have skill training programs, so that when you learn a skill, when you acquire a skill, it becomes yours for life, and nobody can take that away from you. And this is empowerment. This is what developing a country is about, developing the human resource of our country and ensuring that you can now come back, formulate and manage your own businesses, create your own businesses, develop your ideas, and then you can employ yourself and employ all the young people.
Mr. Daru says opportunities are available for the youth to keep developing and expanding their businesses.
Dominica is now on an upward trajectory, and I believe we have to continue to promote what is good in this country. We are now seeing serious investments in the tourism sector, particularly with the hotels. As I looked through the program this afternoon, I saw several businesses that can now tie in with the hotel development so that you can now begin to make more money. So the opportunities are there, but you have to now make use of these opportunities.
Daru, who is responsible for information, telecommunications and technology, urged young people to be involved in the country's emerging digital economy.
We also have to look at the new digital economy, and that is important because we cannot be left back and the rest of the world is taking forward. I believe Dominica has the potential to go hand in hand with this digital economy, and that is why the government of Dominica signed a contract to have the entire telecommunications infrastructure rebuilt after Hurricane Maria. A significant investment, understanding the need of technology and ICT and the role that it plays in businesses and the role it will continue to play with the exchange of finances. Critical role. And I believe we have to take advantage of the new digital economy that will be making itself available here in Dominica.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, the headlines again. A CADRES poll predicts a DLP win at the 6th December general elections, but says the uncertain vote could be a major decider. Head of the WAWU, Curtis Augustus, weighs in on the PSU's efforts to force government to fast-track salary talks. And 8 councillors to sit on the Roseau City Council named by the Electoral Office. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us next time.